Helmut. Listen, good afternoon to you guys first. As you know, in this studio here is where most of the testing gets done of new potentials and some equipment, amplifiers, speakers, etc. And we get, on average, 25 or 30 components of different kind in a given year. Some are kept confidential, some never make it to distribution with us. But I felt that today we'd change a bit the scheme. We've been honored today by the visit Helmut Thiele, that has come all the way from Germany with confidence to demonstrate his turntable. And I'd like, obviously, since you'll be hearing more about the product, hopefully in the near future, Helmut to discuss a little bit with me how we get to this point and a bit the history. So shall we start maybe with your history and passion for high-end audio, and what role have you played up to you starting your own company and doing the turntable?
Yeah, first of all, I'm happy to be here. You being invited by you, and driving from Germany to here is quite a little thing. So,
okay.
But I'm really happy to be here, and well, my interest for hi-fi and audio started in 1978, actually, when I was a student. And I decided to design a turntable as a student. And it wasn't only a design, it was also a working prototype, which I developed and built by myself. And this was the initial product when I started in hi-fi business. When I started working as a freelance designer and engineer, I worked for many companies in the industry, for big machines, for furniture, for small equipment, electronic things. And in 1995, I got contact to a German company like Magnat and Hecko. And I started as a freelance designer and engineer for Magnat and Hecko to design loudspeakers and CD players and earphones and all the stuff that's needed for audio. Through friends, I also got contact to Michelson and Austin tube amplifiers in the 1980s, before 1995, but also to a friend of mine who was working for Tenor. I got contact to Alex Garner, and I designed a small monitor speaker for Tenor, and so it went on. And I'm not quite sure about the year, but let's say 12 or 15 years ago, I got contact to the former owner of Thorens, Heinz Rohrer, which is a Swiss man.
Shall we say that this is the point where you dedicated yourself totally to analog and reproduction? Was that out of you decided this is where you felt you would apply your science better, or was it just a pure accident? What I'm saying is, our view at Absolute Sounds, you're only good at one thing, really good at one thing, but you can't be good at everything. And so I'm saying that at one point you switched to analog, and you went and helped Torrance with lots of designs, I believe. Is that correct?
I have not completely switched only to analog,
okay,
because I was working still for the industry.
Okay.
And I have to say that many of the experiences that I made in the industry helped me developing products for the hi-fi industry.
Okay.
Because knowing method of engineering design, or knowing production methods, and knowing materials, and knowing behavior of material is very essential, especially for mechanical products like a turntable. To see what happens inside a turntable is all about physics, is all about dimensions, is all about behavior and vibrations and resonances, and how to damp down the resonance, because the resonance inside a turntable are everywhere. They are inside the pickup cartridge, they are inside the tonearm tube, inside the tonearm itself, inside the platter, inside the chassis, everywhere. And I have learned a lot about how to decrease the resonances in every place of the turntable. And the result of this was, after working for Thorns and other companies that do turntables, to develop my own product. The start was my tonearm, which is a tangential tonearm, but with rotary movement principles. And after having the tonearm developed, I developed my chassis for my tonearm.
I must say, it's very impressive to see, obviously, what you bring from your engineering, and obviously, I think we can rubber stamp it as well, Germany, because I think that in Germany people have got this obsession for precision engineering, and we have it in the whole automotive industry, and it's so pleasing to see that it can be transferred in many other domains. And I must say, now that I want to pass a comment, this turntable, when I was presented to it, really immediately oozed good engineering. You know, you don't have, having been 40 odd years in audio market and another 18 in the music market, I sort of have a good feel for properly engineered products. So,
well, this
is
sorry, this did not happen by chance, because before I started to study design, I started to study civil engineering. So I have a very strong civil engineering background before I started to study industrial design. Sorry.
And is there a common thread with music? Is music still a driving force for you?
Yeah, sure.
On a continuous basis?
Yeah, sure.
Or are you more into working your engineering projects?
No, I love music, and especially jazz music, and I would have loved to learn to play saxophone, but which is my favorite instrument on this earth. But at the same time I started to learn to play saxophone, I started to learn to fly gliders in Germany, and one day I had to decide either I continue flying gliders or I continue playing saxophone. And my decision was to fly gliders.
Well, that's a good spiritual food as well.
Yeah.
Good food for the soul. Well, listen, Helmut, people will hear a lot more about you. I know you've got a couple of projects up your sleeve as well, new projects. But let's start with really confirming to all that we've got a beautiful engineered product. And obviously, how many turntables, by the way, before we conclude this conversation, do you reckon you've designed for the Torrens family?
I started, let's say, 12 or 13 years ago for Thorns, and I think all in all, it's about 7, 8 turntables and quite a number of tone arms, but I can't tell you exactly.
No, I won't exactly.
But
anyway, that's, I guess some of it is more confident. But that's another fantastic German brand. So I think the whole thing seems to indicate that you've got some thread to the music world.
Yeah, sure. That's
well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you.